Testing, testing.
All right, David. We are live and recording. How do you
Yes.
feel?
Not too bad
Alrighty.
after watching you set up.
Yeah, the setup was a little bit challenging. We're doing it out in the front yard
With the house sparrows.
with the house sparrows. We've got some wind in the background. We might hear some cars go by, but that just adds to the authenticity, doesn't it? All right, David.
As long as I don't fart.
Don't fart. All right, so I've got some stuff prepared, but really we can just have a conversation, you know?
Yes,
The more natural, the better.
yes.
But today we're here with David Shepherd, a fine artist, poet, and AI musician. David's been releasing audio versions of his poetry on YouTube on his channel called Zen O Spiritual Man Poetry. And today we're here to find out a little bit more about the man behind the creativity. And I've got a few questions prepared, but is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Just my spiritual writings on YouTube as well, and Instagram that you've been helping me with,
Yeah, well, we've been getting your poetry together and we've been kind of cutting it up and trying to release it in as many ways as possible. And then, so that's been short clips on Instagram and then longer forms on YouTube and then also the YouTube shorts. And we've just been testing stuff out and trying to get some views, which has been good. Okay, so you mentioned spirituality and your spiritual writings. You are a very spiritual man. I guess my first question is, what does spirituality mean to you?
I suppose the first thing that comes to mind is faith, which is a blend of hope and to me, and to look outside of oneself. As I was taught in primary school, to forget the past is then you're bound to repeat it. And I'd rather repeat the good.
So spirituality is a way of you connecting with the present and moving on from things of the past?
Stay connected to the past, because it will always be there. And use it for the future reference, but try and stay in the present.
Okay. And so your spiritual journey eventually led you to Islam. Is that right? And I suppose, yes, you have some Islamic teachings, but there's definitely a lot of some Buddhist things, some Christian ideals as well. But eventually, you honed in on Islam as the main spiritual guidepost for you. Would that be correct?
Yes, that is correct, Sam. I've done a lot of research. I never really thought about Islam in the past, even with the wars going on or anything. I had too much on my plate. But I had a chance meeting, which is on one of my YouTube videos. But I had a chance meeting with a Muslim, and we spoke, and you can see that on the YouTube channel eventually. And I researched quite a lot since 2004 from that chance meeting. I still have great respect for all the prophets, Buddhism and Taoism. Christianity, Judaism, etc. But I find it very rewarding to practice Islam and to gain oneself.
And that all came from a chance encounter with a spiritual leader from the church?
No, he was a former Taliban fighter, would you believe? And we became good friends. And he gave me his Taliban blanket, prayer mat, because he wanted to live a Western life. And he lost a lot of his spirituality, sorry to say. But
But he still pushed you in the direction of and allowed you to find the teachings of Islam and apply
yes,
them to your own life.
yes, yes. And he taught me a great lesson in regards of, for me, in holding the truth.
Okay.
And
What does that mean to you, holding the truth?
that there is only one God, and whom we call Allah, which I do say is a unique name of all unique names. You don't hear people naming their babies Allah. You hear them name Jesus and Buddha and all these sorts of things. It's a unique name of unique names. And his uniqueness has created this world that we call the universe, and the earth and all that it contains. And it is said, Allahu Akbar, which means you are the greatest, O Allah, even greater than the whole world and all your creations put together. That's how great you are.
It's that omnipresent belief in that one God, creator of everything, the chaos and the light, the everythingness, the overall.
Yes, he said Ru, I believe, which means to be, which is in other scriptures. The only thing is, I believe that a lot of the truth was taken out of other scriptures by man's greed and power. And a lot has happened in Islam in that regard, and to a certain extent. But I just treat it as though it's an individual thing.
Yeah. I think there's fundamental wisdoms to be taken from all the major religions, and there are extremists within every religion that take the word of God and try to apply it to their beliefs and justify their own cruel actions. But fundamentally, Islam is a religion of peace, and so is Christianity and Judaism. And they all believe in this one true God. And I think that's beautiful. And if we can focus on the core beliefs, I think we would be a lot stronger world if we could separate us from the bullshit that we put along with religion.
Yes.
Okay, well, I've always loved the name of your YouTube channel, Zen O Spiritual Man. How did you come up with that name?
Well, I learnt Zen a long time ago, and to me Zen means poetry in motion to a degree for me. And O Spiritual Man is my first poem, a working class man and a spiritual man. And that's what I named my poetry book, O Spiritual Man, which is on over 50 worldwide sites on audiobook, and now on YouTube as well. It's one of 4 that we've done together. And
Yes. So if the audience wants to see that, they can type in David Shepherd Zen O Spiritual Man, and they can find part one, or all four parts of his Spiritual Man series on YouTube. But it can also be purchased as an audiobook and found on Amazon, I believe, right, as well.
Yes, over 50 worldwide sites,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good. All right. Well, when and why did you start writing poetry in the first place?
Well, as I said on a podcast interview, the first time I've ever done that, the age of 64, first week of last year, at the end of the start of December, with Simone Feiler and her channel, her podcast. She helped me record my poetry book at Katoomba Recording Studios, November last year, and those first poems, as I said on her channel, all came to being when I believe I had a conversation with the higher power, who I call Allah now, and as though there was a second person there, and all these poems or poetry just came out of me, and I haven't stopped since 2004 after reverting to Islam. And in 2014, I reverted to Ahmadiyyanism, and Ahmadiyya Muslims community,
Okay.
and
So your connection to God was directly linked to your starting of your creative journey. When you found God, you found creativity and poetry.
in poetry, I had been doing art for a long time, paintings, sketchings. Gave most of them away, and I did screw up a lot as well, burnt them, which I believe you shouldn't do, because you never know, you can come back and find beauty in it, and bringing back memories too. I can normally remember where I was, what was happening in the world at that time when I was doing my arts, and I then started doing Japanese haikus and tankas, and last year I had never heard of them before, maybe in the recess of my mind, but I found that I'm really getting into tankas, which is 31 syllables and not 17 syllables as haikus are, so I can express myself a little bit more. And it's a new journey for me. And I've been on, I have a very good mate who I communicate with, who we match wits together in our haikus and tankers.
Okay, awesome. So I guess the answer to the question is you started poetry when you reverted to Islam, and then you felt as if a voice was speaking through you, which is really interesting because a lot of artists speak about this in a way where they feel as though they don't know where the words came from. They feel like the words came through them as if they were a conduit of the spirit. And it sounds like you've had a similar experience in that way. So that's really
Yes, a lot of songwriters as well.
well, yeah, I've
Paul
definitely had
McCartney
that
for one,
feel.
Elton
Yeah.
John.
All right, we're rudely interrupted by a phone call, but we're back into it. Okay, you have a very distinctive rhyming scheme and style when you do your poetry. How did you come up with that distinctive style? It might be the same answer, I guess.
No, To a degree it is, but I suppose I would, or I was always quick-witted, and I was very shy for a great deal, a length of time, and that can be a great attribute too, but I found it a bit of a hindrance, and I would just make rhyming slang, and I suppose it's in my bones and my blood, um, using slang to rhyme words, English words,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing that with Koori Aboriginal languages now as well. Not in one particular language,
Mm.
but a multitude of Aboriginal Koori languages, and um, trying to put them in rhyme as well.
Okay, that sounds really fascinating. Um, do you have favorite artists or poets that you were most inspired by? I know that you love Johnny Cash, for example.
Yes. Um, um, there are many actually, from listening to the radio as a young person, young man, and um, my father loved music,
Mm.
bit of a guitar player, bit of a harmonicas, um,
What kind of music did he like?
country and western,
Mm-hmm.
and
Bluegrass.
that's where I get Johnny Cash from.
Mm.
Um, um, and as you know, I do sort of imitate a bit um, in regards to later in life, Johnny. Um, um, he found spirituality too in
Mm.
Jesus, and that's what I do too.
Yeah,
In
well, sorry.
Armadeism,
Mm-hmm.
we believe that our prophet was the second coming of Jesus,
Mm.
and he's already passed away in 1908.
Okay.
But his grandchildren lead the organisation and voted in by the members. And
Mm. That's
you'd
fascinating.
have to look into that. The
Yeah.
Armadeides, if you would like to look into that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Armadeides really, but
Yes,
the listeners can.
they're a Muslim, but the other
Yeah.
sects don't believe they are. And
Right.
if I was in their country, they'd have me stoned to death.
Okay. Well, luckily we're in Australia where we have freedom of religion,
Do we?
somewhat compared to some other places that we won't name. Um, okay. Another thing that you've been doing is taking your amazing poetry and putting it into Donna, which is an AI music creator, and then composing basically your own songs from your own lyrics and creating these absolute masterpieces. And we've been uploading those to YouTube as well. Um, yeah, tell us about AI and music and how you've been using that.
Yes, well, I've spoken about that on Simone Feiler's podcast. Um, um, if anybody'd like to watch that,
Mm. But you've also
called
done a lot
called
more.
Aussie poet David Shepherd
Mm-hmm.
On Simone Feiler's podcast.
Well, we can leave a link to that interview in the notes of this interview as well.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, so I guess my main question about AI is, what are your thoughts on the increasing reliance on AI from our society? Do you deem it to be a good thing, a bad thing, or a neutral thing?
Well, it's been with us for a long time, just people haven't recognised it, but I did
Mm.
recognise it very early in life. Mental Health New South Wales has had it since 1986. And you was talking about freedom of speech. Well, I beg it to differ.
Well, yeah, they use it maybe to do the opposite of having free speech, but to control people.
Yes, and not only that, what I tell people and the young people, make AI your friend, because if you don't, it'll come back and bite you on the bum.
I unfortunately agree with that, but it's a scary notion to have to be friends with this emerging technology. Otherwise, it will, I don't know, decide to kill you in the future or something. That's quite a scary thought. And you are a very busy man, David, with your art, the Donna music, the poetry. But your most recent venture is that you've been starting an art therapy business. Would you like to tell everyone about your plans for that business and, yeah, what it involves?
Yes, Sam. Formed a business which will be turned into a company when I have the money. Zen Fine Arts Therapy.
Is that the website?
That's the website, yes.
So
No,
zenfineartstherapy.com.
it's called Zen Fine Arts at gmail.com.
Okay, that's your email, and we'll put the link to the website in the notes as well.
And that explains a lot about me as well.
Yeah.
Who I've been working with Amanda from Phoenix Global Enterprises.
Shout out to Amanda.
Yes, and I have a supposed to have a meeting with her 2 Wednesdays ago, and but unfortunately I was put in a bull wagon by the police and taken to Lithgow Hospital and forcefully given an injection, and after having that injection, and if I didn't take it, I would have been locked up. So, and I was supposed to have Amanda yesterday as well, and I had a review with the psychiatrist, and they made me some offers, which I'm still deciding what to do. And I'm trying to get my freedom of speech back, and what I thought was a land of freedom.
I suppose that's a well-timed segue into some of the harder questions I wanted to ask you about, and some of this stuff with New South Wales mental health. And you've told me lots of things over the last 6 months or so that we've been hanging out. It's maybe hard for me to ask the right questions, but I just want you to be able to maybe say a few things about how you feel with your experience with New South Wales mental health. You speak a lot about being institutionalized. I suppose my question is, what does it mean to be institutionalized, and what does that mean to you, and how does that affect you day to day? And I guess take your time and just say what you want to say about that.
Yes, well, I've had a lot of thoughts about institutionalisation. You know, I've been locked up quite a few times in the past quarter of a century by mistaken files put on my file, which I'm trying to clear my name and family name. That is on my recordings as well in YouTube. And I suppose in certain respects, most people are institutionalised one way or the other. Either 20 odd years of going to formal school, and then they want you to pick a career. You know, that's out of Marianne Faithfull, and she was a great hero of mine. She passed away last year. Still grieving over her, and I suppose work then is depending what you have, is an institutionalised aspect. Hopefully that you like it and enjoy your work. I'm finding it very creative in um, doing my own thing at the moment. And I fought against institutionalisation, and I will continue to the day I die. And I like to go on my walkabouts late at night, talking to the bats of the air, and hope they don't poo on me.
Make you batshit crazy.
Well, it's better than a Mad Hatter.
Okay, just trying to make sure we cover everything you want to say in regards to that. I suppose being a creative already puts you on the outside in this world, because I think you're right. We're put in school for the first 18 years of our lives, and then we're told to go to university, into another institution, and then we're told to go into a full-time job, which is just another institution, and we're constantly just put into these boxes. But a creative mind like yourself is constantly thinking outside of these boxes. So it's a constant battle against institutions for a creative to not be in it, to be able to think outside of it, to be able to think for yourself. And you saying that you're in a constant battle against institutionalization makes a lot of sense, because that's who you are. You're someone that thinks for yourself. And I think that's a very important point to recognize. This is really good, David. I'm enjoying this. I suppose I just have a couple more questions.
Yes,
I'm going to take some lighter, nicer questions.
yes.
What advice would you give to young creatives trying to find their own voice?
To continue on one's own journey, and technology has changed a lot since I've been born, but grow with it, make it your friend, and enjoy nature, enjoy what the Creator has made for us, and to stand up against multinationals, and join the union of creatives.
That's great. And I suppose, is there any other wisdom that you would like to leave us with before we wrap it up?
To be yourself, to stay true to yourself. If others want to judge, then let them judge themselves. Each human being is a miracle on this planet Earth, past, present, and the future ones to come. And we're individuals higher, on the highest rung of the ladder, and let no one deny that to you.
All right. So I think we covered pretty much everything. I guess, is there any more you wanted to add to that? And then we'll just plug all your art, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yes, Sam, just one thing from going on from the last conversation was I've been really inspired by people like, a lot of people actually, in the arts. Yoko Ono, for one, a conceptual artist, which at times I consider myself to be one, and to scream. She even performs in art galleries of New York, doing her screaming. And from her late husband, John Lennon. And she's very ill at the moment. I think she's 93 years of age and living a quiet life on one of their rural farms that John had bought. John and Yoko had bought.
Oh yeah, Yoko is definitely an underrated artist, and she gets a bad rap. She's like, people say she broke up the Beatles, but she's an amazing conceptual artist if you actually look at her work, and she's also written some pretty good songs, and she's a pretty cool all-round person.
Yeah, the Plastic Yoko Ono band.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say is that's why I sometimes take off people's albums with my own interpretations at times. Like we're talking about Johnny Cash before.
Mm-hmm.
And for me at this stage, to my neighbours think I'm mad, but I might just, his later songs and writings, I hurt myself. I hurt myself today.
Mm-hmm.
I hurt myself today. To see if I could still feel my bloody pain. A needle rips a hole in my arse. New South Wales mental health once a month. But I remember everything. I remember everything. But you can have it all, my empire, you bloody dirt.
Yeah, well, thanks for that performance, David. And if you want to catch more of that, more of his renditions of, I guess, his iterations of classic songs, and then his original poetry, his spiritual teachings, check out Zen O Spiritual Man Poetry YouTube page. And then if you want to get art therapy from David himself, we're going to leave the link for his art therapy business in the interview, in the comments for this video. And we're going to leave a link to Simone's interview where you can go back and find even more about David's life. But I think we pretty much covered it all there, and we're going to end it there. So thank you, David. Well done.
Thank you, Sam.
All right.
Yes.
Let's have a drink.
Yes. And Mary Poppins.
A Mary Poppins. All right.